Are we live? Here we go! Go the Cowboys! Woo!
Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Culture Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh, yeah! Fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL 2023 Grand Final preview between the Penrith Panthers and the Brisbane Broncos. We've got Faraz on the line through audio. Faraz, how are you, mate?
Yeah, mate, you're going good. How about yourself?
I'm well, bro. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, mate, thanks for having me once again on here. Like we did the preview last year, the prelims, now we're in grand final. It's still unreal. My boys are here, still soaking up. It's going to be a long week through. Can't wait for Sunday.
Nervous or what?
Very nervous, mate. I mean, I was never expecting us to come this far. Obviously, we know it's going to be a great game, but, obviously what happened last time in the GF 8 years ago, it still haunts me to this day. So if we can win, they'll finally put me past 2015. But yeah, it's going to be a long week.
Oh, 100% it will. I mean, it's going to be a cracking grand final. Nonetheless, obviously, the game is Sunday night, October 1st, at Accor Stadium in Sydney. 84,000 fans expected to be there, and it's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. It's going to be a fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to it. But before we get into the preview, I just want to say hello to everyone that's in the live chat, tuning into the live stream, the grand final preview. Hope you guys are all well. Hello to Estate Storm fan. Hello to Josh Rabbitohs 2023. Hello to CJ Moxley, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Bosky, everyone that's arriving, William Pearson. I think you've got some background noise going on there too, Faraz, by the way.
Yeah, just got a lot of family right now here.
Oh, yeah, all right, fair enough. Well, hello to everyone in the chat. I hope you guys are all doing good. And the grand final is sold out. I know a lot of people that are traveling up from Brisbane that are going to drive to Sydney on Thursday or Friday, get down there for the weekend and whatnot. So
I don't know if I've told you this, mate, as well. I think Noah will be with me as well on the day. So he'll be coming around to my house, and we're spending the whole day together. Then we'll be off to the grand final.
Sounds bloody good. It's gonna be a fantastic game. But without further ado, let's get into the grand final preview. Now, obviously, the team lists have dropped. Teams are out, and we'll go through the team list here now. It's gonna be a wild old game. This one. Both teams are very similar to last week. I believe it is the same as last week.
Yep.
Whereas what I'll do, I'll go through the Penrith team, and then I'll get you to go through the Broncos side, if that's all right.
Right, no worries, mate.
So the Panthers team goes by fullback Dylan Edwards. On the wings, you've got Nuna Turuva. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Brian Toto is the other winger. You got Isaac Tongo and Stephen Crichton in the centres. Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary in the halves. Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris in the front row. You've got Mitch Kenny, a dummy half. Scott Sorensen and Liam Martin in the back row. Isaiah Yeo at lock forward. And on the bench for Penrith, you've got Jack Cogger, Lindsay Smith, Spencer Lenu, and Luke Garner. And in the reserves, you've got Tyrone Peachy as 18th man, Matt Eisenhuth, Zach Hosking, Luke Somerton, and Tom Jenkins. That is the home side. Faraz, what is the Broncos team for the grand final?
Yeah, so lining up for the first grand final 8 years at fullback, Reece Walsh. On the wings, Jesse Arthurs and Selwyn Cobbo. In the centres, you've got Katoni Staggs and Herbie Farnworth. In the halves, you've got Ezra Mam at 5'8", Adam Reynolds up against Nathan Cleary for the second time in 2 years as the captain. At prop, you've got Flegler. The hookers, Billy Walters. At At the other prop, you've got Payne Haas. In the second rows, you've got Kirk Capewell and John Ricky. And at lock is Paddy Carrigan. Off the bench, you've got Tyson Smithy off the bench, Brendan Piakura, Kobe Heatherton, and Keenan Palacio. So Brisbane remain unchanged 1-17 with Oates as 18
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, Corey Oates, 18th man, and they've also got Martin Tapau, Corey Jensen, Jock Madden, and Tristan Saylor all in the reserves. Now, first thing I want to touch on, obviously there was a bit of news that come out today from the press. You know, some will say it's real, some will say it's fake news. It seems a bit of a mind games from the Broncos. Herbie Farmworth going down with a suspected tight hamstring. It looked real at the start, and you know what? The more and now they're saying he's all clear. So there's a lot of fake news BS behind this. Do you think the Herbie Farmworth injury was real, or do you reckon it's more of a grand final stunt?
I wouldn't say it was completely 100% fake. I would say maybe he pulled up a bit sore, but I wouldn't say it was anything that would like threaten him to like be ruled out of the match. Obviously, I didn't take too much consideration into it. As you sent me the message, I didn't really like take too much into it. I knew like he'll probably be cleared up at the end of the day or sooner than later. Yeah,
Yeah.
look, I don't. Yeah, there's a lot of like fake news because I'm even seeing other articles. You see Sand Lake posting that Reece Walsh out of nowhere has also been cleared when there was no injury update on him. Then Adam Reynolds was
Yeah.
apparently sore. So yeah, there's a lot of mind games already going on. Like they're making it too obvious at this point.
Yeah, I think it's mind games. And look, you wait. Tomorrow we'll probably hear a rumor. Oh, Isaac Tango has re-aggravated his injury. Oh,
Nathan Cleary might have been dealt.
yeah, Nathan Cleary's finger is now swelled up again, and it's badly infected. Or Jerome
Adam Reynolds has
Luai's
a sore
shoulder is
leg.
playing up. Yeah, blah blah blah. They're all gonna play. It's a fucking grand final, unless they end up in hospital and they're in the hospital room and they're in doubt. That's the only way they ain't gonna be playing. So they're
I
all
mean,
gonna
to be
play.
honest,
Even if they're all gonna
some of
play.
these players as well. To be honest, mate, I think even if they did get like a broken fracture, I think they'll be determined to play this grand final.
But mate, Cooper Cronk played a grand final in 2018
Exactly.
with a busted shoulder,
Mm.
and mate, players are always carrying injuries this time of year, and you gotta,
Mm.
you know, it is what it is at
Right.
the end of the day. It
It
is
is
what
what
it
it
is. Now, these two sides have met twice this season, as we know. Obviously, the first encounter back in round one, Broncos did beat the Panthers 13 points to 12 in the wet in Penrith on a Friday night. Do you have much memory of that game for us?
Oh, how can I not have, mate? It was obviously, it was a bit of a tough time for the club. You know, obviously the club choked the top 8 spot. There was a lot of off-field drama heading to round one. That game we were heavy outsiders. Not really much picked us to win. We were like paying $4 odds.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because when Penrith scored their first try, you were just thinking like, oh, this is gonna be another blowout. Brisbane had no chance. They're gonna end by losing 20, 30 points. But what followed was like a spirited comeback. Adam Reynolds led the troops. It was obviously wet. Penrith also lost in the wet in the same scoreline to I think it was St. Helens, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, I was there. I
Yeah,
was at that
yeah, you
game.
were there as well in Penrith. So yeah, no, it was a great win, a great defensive win. Obviously, attack could have been a bit better, but in wet conditions, you can't really do much more. Adam Reynolds field goal to like
Yeah.
slot it in. Someone Cobbo nearly bombed that game towards the end, but Brisbane just pulled through.
Yeah, I
And their
remember
first
that
win at
game.
and their
I
first
think,
win at Penrith since 2009.
yeah, look, I think there was like 5 to go. I think Reynolds kicked the field goal and they were up by 7, and then Penrith got a late try, and we all went, "Oh, here we go." So
Yeah.
I do, and then obviously the second time they played was back in round 12, and that was up in Brisbane there, and the Panthers did get the job done there, 15 points to 4. But you got to take into consideration there was no Adam Reynolds in that game, and the Broncos were very competitive in that game without
Right.
Reynolds. So, you know, it's 1-1 in the series this year between the two sides, and you know, I think if you break it down, I think we're in for a hell of a grand final. Now, let's get into some of the key matchups for the game, bro. There's some great key matchups. Obviously, you've got Edwards against Walsh. You've got the center battle, which is Going to be Herbie Farmworth going up against Stephen Crichton, which is going to be outstanding. You
And
got
just to
your
add to that, both sides playing the last club games for the Panthers and Broncos respectively till they head off to to the Dolphins and Bulldogs next season. So they'll be
yes.
doing to end off on a high.
You got Stags up against Tago. I mean, the halves as well. I mean, Luai versus Mam, Cleary Reynolds, fucking Haas against Fisher Harris,
Carrigan,
Jody
yo.
versus Carrigan, and you got the back row. You got Jordan Ricky up against Scotty Sorensen. You got
Mm.
Martin and Capewell. Like, there's some really good matchups in this
This
match.
even
What
this
is
is
your
sort of
favorite matchup for the grand final? What's your favorite matchup?
Mate, there's just too many to choose from. Obviously, you've got Dylan Edwards versus Reece Walsh, the two electric fullbacks. One's consistent, the other one's just energetic in attack. Then you've got the two old heads. Oh, not Cleary, not so much, but he's won a few premierships. Now he's against the old head, Adam Reynolds, the veteran. He's been leading the Broncos like recharge. But for me, the key matchup, I think if either side is going to come out on top, I think Paddy Carrigan versus Isaiah Yo. I think whoever can dominate the middle has the better ball playing skills on the day, can like lay out the platform for the Hearts to do their job. And then you can bring players like Reece Walsh or even like your Stephen Crichton into play. Yeah, so I think Isaiah versus Pat Carrigan, the two 13s. I think whoever has a field day will just let the platform for the other teams.
Yeah. Yeah, look, there's a lot of good matchups. I mean, there probably isn't even a bad matchup on the park. I mean, it's all very good. It's all very
Even
classy.
Billy Walters versus Mitch Kenny. I know that's not the
Yeah.
biggest two names in the sport right now, but Billy Walters is much improved right now. Mitch Kenny's doing a job, so those two line up perfect. You'd say they're the same pretty much as well.
Yeah, they're very similar. Billy Walters probably does a bit more in attack
Mm,
for me. So,
right.
look, it's going to be great. My favorite matchup is one that no one will talk about. And, mate, I am looking forward to Jordan Ricky against Scott Sorensen.
Or
That's going to be a good battle because you got to remember they're both um, they're both in contention for New Zealand at the end of the
right.
year as well in the Pacific tournament, and they're both looking to be starting second rowers for New Zealand. So
Mm.
that's a great battle in itself. So I'm really looking forward to Sorensen against Ricky. Both have had a good season, but obviously the key matchup it's Nathan Cleary versus Adam Reynolds. I mean,
Right.
the halfbacks they decide the game. Whichever one has the better kicking game probably wins it. I know the middle is going to be crazy. Obviously, that'll be very important as well. But
Mm.
whoever kicks better out of Cleary and Reynolds, I think, goes a long way to winning the game. So
And that was
it's
the
going to be
key in the
crazy.
two games they played. Obviously, back in round one in the wet. If Adam
Yeah,
Reynolds doesn't, if Brisbane didn't have Adam Reynolds kicking him that night, they probably don't win that. And
yeah,
the
you're
second
right.
game, obviously, we saw Jock Manor did a job, but Reynolds just brought that. He brought that versatility. He brought those experience in those kicks. He knew when to
Mm,
attack, when to go. He has tricks up his sleeves. His long kicking game that can threaten like a Panthers side, and that's what you saw with Nathan Cleary. Not only did Cleary kick better, his running game went to a whole new level, and
yeah,
Brisbane just couldn't handle him at the key moments. So you saw in those two matchups. So whoever has the better kicking game on the night, they'll probably get through with the victory.
yeah, 100%. 100%. Now, Faraz, now obviously Penrith are going into the game as favourites, and if we just have a quick look at the odds, what they are saying, and I've got the Penrith Panthers at favourites here at $1.75. The Brisbane Broncos, obviously the outsiders at $2.25. Do you think the odds are about fair enough at this stage?
Yeah, I think it's very fair. I think Penrith obviously have to be the favourites. They've been here before. They've done it. They're the back-to-back champs. Brisbane are new to this area in grand final. Yeah, I think the odds are fair. Some might suggest it might be a bit odd out, but Brisbane have been the second best team. They've beaten Penrith before. I think the odds are fair. I thought Brisbane were going to be $2.80, so the odds
Mm,
kind of took me a bit shocked. As you can see, Penrith are actually $1.65. Now they're a bit shorter to $1.25. So it's getting a
yeah.
bit closer. I think they're putting some respect on the Broncos, and I think it's fair enough, to be honest.
I think the odds are fair enough, but I think the Broncos probably should be like 240 for me, or 250. The
Yeah.
reason I say that is because you got to remember the Broncos have barely played in Sydney this year. They had 3 games down there. They played Penrith down there, Cronulla down there, and Canterbury down there. They won all 3. The Broncos did not play a single game this year at Allianz, at
Oh, cool.
Accor, at Combank. So that could be a minor issue, but I mean, you've got Reynolds.
That's been his home ground. But I think
Yeah,
why
they
they
should
probably would be.
they should be
I think
used to
one.
it.
Yeah, I think one reason why they might be $2.40 is not for me because of the grounds, because half of these players have played at a core on these big grounds. For me, it would probably
Yeah,
their downfall could either be like their lack of experience in the grand final. Obviously, we've seen now Nathan Cleary at club level. We've seen he's pulled the troops. He's won back-to-back premierships. He was as you saw, even in Penrith's first grand final appearance, they won like every single game of the regular season except for one. And when it hit grand final time, Melbourne, I know the score was 26-20, but in that first half, Melbourne just completely plucked up Penrith and they like picked their souls out.
yeah.
And yeah, so that's my only worry. It's about the start for Brisbane. If like they come here with a few errors, they get unsettled. If Penrith race out to a 12-0 lead, it could get done really quickly. But in saying that, this team does have a few experiences. Kurt Capewell obviously played for the Panthers, won a premiership there. Now he's at Brisbane. Reynolds has won a premiership. He's been in a lot of finals games before. So they've still got some experience there, but a lot of these guys, Staggs, Colo, playing their first grand final. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull up.
I promise you, if the Broncos don't start well, they will get they won't win. They have to start the game well. We've seen in the past when you play a team that's won a few grand finals and have got experience, if you're the new team on the block, if you don't start the game well, you are going to find it very hard to get back into the game. Now, a couple of years ago, when Canberra made the grand final against the Roosters actually scored the first try of the game. I'm not saying that's why the Raiders lost, but it didn't help them. Like you said, 2020, when Penrith made it for the first time in a long time, all their young kids, they missed the jump and they had to come back and get back into it late. So the Broncos need to do the complete opposite. They need to be the ones that start the game well. So I reckon that's very important.
Would you almost have to go as far as saying if Brisbane can score the first try, it would like do some confidence because it brings some like
It'll help. It'll make a huge difference because I was at the prelim final the other night when the Broncos beat the Warriors and like the Broncos did not start great. They conceded
the Jesse Arthur's.
three tries on that right
This
edge.
might sound a bit harsh, but when I was watching back that game, I was actually really disappointed in Jesse Arthur's because it was more like I was comfortable because I knew that we had enough attack to come back against the Warriors. But if we do that against Penrith and we let in the try as simple as that early on in the match, like
You can't
Penrith
do that.
You can't like against the Warriors. I'm not saying 100% we're going to come back to this, but I knew if we just go into our game and our groove, we'd like settle the Warriors easily here compared to Penrith. But if we do that against Penrith, we are stuffed badly. We can't be making errors in the fifth minute.
I hope Capewell and I hope, Ezra Mann, Herbie Farmer, I hope they all just, Jesse Arthurs, I hope they all do their part because they're up against a very dominating right edge. It's got Nathan Cleary, Liam Martin, Crichton. So at the moment it's Tago, but it could be Crichton. They could switch. We don't know. We just don't know.
Capewell has played at the Panthers before, so he should know sort of a bit of
He'll
the game
know a
plan.
lot about him. He'll know a lot. He'll know a lot. Now, like it's obvious. If the Broncos are going to win the grand final against Penrith on Sunday, they need to start the game well. They need to do their usual game plan, but I feel like as well, they need to play a little bit unorthodox. Offloads. The offloads killed the Warriors the other night. They got to
there was
offload
like
the
5,
ball
6 offloads in one
through
play.
the middle. Everything, bro. Reynolds, man, like Walsh, offloads with the front rowers. Just don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it and you make errors, Penrith will just go bang. So
if you're the Broncos, how do you start this? How do you start the match? Obviously, if you got the ball in your set, how do you start it? Do you just take it easy, take a few runs through the middle, then do you start like offloading? Like, when's the perfect time to start it? Or do you think just play the natural game and just look for the opportunity to offload?
I think you play the normal game, but then obviously you look for offloads through the middle. Don't overdo it. If you overdo it, Penrith will suffocate you, and then they'll suck the life out of you if you do it too much. Now, for Penrith to win, it's just on the back of their defense. They defend so well. I think they're conceding 8 points a game against non-top 8 teams. And I think it's about 12 against top 8 sides. So their defense is very classy. Now, in the final series, They only conceded, what was it? They conceded 4
They only
points
consider
against
fourth to
Melbourne,
Melbourne.
and they conceded, what was it against the Warriors? Was it 2 tries? One try there.
Well,
So
if you compare
Melbourne,
the two
Penrith
teams,
have only conceded 10 points in
yeah,
the whole final series.
if you compare the two teams, Brisbane have conceded 437 points this season. Penrith, on the other hand, have only conceded 322. So that tells
Yeah,
a story.
big difference in defense. Now,
Mm.
Brisbane's attack is something else, man. Reece Walsh and like the Panthers will have a plan for him. I'm
Mm.
sure they will. But it's easier said than done.
Then done.
Reece Walsh is very vital to the Broncos, and obviously he is going to play a very important part in how this game goes. So, again, he won't be given as much space, in my opinion,
No.
but he can still have a big impact on the game, even if he is contained. So, Reece Walsh is going to be very important to how the Broncos go in this game, man.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. He's lightning quick. He's got a lot of speed, but like you said, Penrith are not going to give him that much space. Their line speed and their attitude is going to be more fierce. They're going to be looking to like polarize Reece Walsh, put more bombs in on. It might not work, but they're going to try to suck the lives out of him and try to make him a bit impatient. But what works for Walsh is that he's been in the Origin camp now, so he's been guided by Billy Slater, so that he knows when to choose and pick and pass his moments. But he's also got to be careful. Like, we know what we can do. I know he came back strongly, but even that play, that off, like, intercept by Dallin was only, you got
Yep.
Stephen Crichton, the king of intercepts there. So
You
you
got
got to,
him.
like, and it's not like the Panthers are like the Warriors. You can't, like, let any points slip through. Like, they are the
No,
best
you
defensive team. I think Brisbane, they are a good attacking side for sure, but
The defense is also very good.
their defense is very good for sure. But when you come against Penrith, you can't give them like free chances to score like that. You want it to be at least like they work hard for it, not just give them easy intercepts and all that, because that would just like polarize Brisbane's confidence. But yeah, like you said, Reece Walsh, I would argue he is just as important as Adam Reynolds on the day as the key player.
Yes. And I'll tell you this for us. Now, Penrith have only conceded 10 points in the final series. Brisbane have only conceded 12. So there's no difference. 2 points. 2 points in defense. So Brisbane obviously didn't concede a point against Melbourne in week 1, and they conceded 3 tries in the weekend, but obviously Pompey had a bad night with the boot, which made it only the Warriors scoring 12 points. So
Yeah.
the defense in the finals on both teams is extremely similar. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. If Penrith win, it'll be on the back of their defense, as always. If the Broncos win, it'll be on the back of their offloads and their work through the middle. Now, I want to ask you this for us. The Broncos, with their attack, do you reckon they'll go left more, or do you reckon they'll go more to the right? For me, I think they'll go more to the right, simply because Jerome Luai's a target with that shoulder. There's no way that shoulder's 100%, so they'll be going there. And they'll be targeting the young rookie Taruva as well. So I reckon the Broncos will be going right side a lot towards Staggs, Ricky, and
Stags and
Cobbo.
Cobbo.
Do you feel the same way, or do you reckon they'll go more
Yeah,
left?
no, I'm feeling the same way because at this point in time, like if the game's close, you sort of need that extractive player. Tony Staggs can break through a line. He can like get his winger involved. I think this is the time where Tony needs to step up as well. Like get more ball in his hand. Look for like plays, creative plays, because you're not gonna bustle through Penrith easily. Like Herbie Farmer's a gun, but if there's one player at his absolute best that can pull off players, get his wingers involved, get like the team in good position, it's Tony Staggs. And obviously we know what Cobbo can do with his speed, his tallness, agility. If they're close to the line, they got to kick more to his side. And Cobbo has to be contesting because even though I think Brian Toto clears someone Cobbo as a winger, he's got the height advantage over him. So if Reynolds can clear, as we've seen before with Admirals and Selwood Cobbo linking up, if they can find good field position and get him into like good space, there could be some tries on that left edge, but on that right, sorry, but yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think they'll go to the right side more. You just got to have Tony Staggs with more ball in his hand. Can't be like
Cobbo's up against Taruva, which is going to be interesting, and Arthur's against Toto. Now, with all due respect, Cobbo is a much better player than Taruva, and Toto's a much better player than Jesse Arthur. But both teams have got good targets on the right edge on both teams. Now, let's get into some predictions, shall we? Let's get into some nice predictions. We're going to start with the first try scorer prediction for the grand final. Now, I just want to let everyone know the last 3 grand finals, a centre has been the first try scorer. Last year was Crichton. In 2000 and oh no, hang on. Yeah, last year was Crichton.
Yeah.
2021 was Matt Burton, and 2020 was Justin Olam. So the last 3 grand finals, the centre has scored the first try of the game. Faraz, who do you think scores the first try in this grand final?
I think if Tony Staggs goes through it, but I think they'll find a nice, I think they'll get into good field position. I think close to the line, I think they'll give some balls to Staggs. I think he'll just borrow over for a try.
My first try scorer prediction for the game, and I'm going to have a few dollars on this one through the week sometime. My prediction for the first try scorer of the 2023 grand final, I reckon Jordan Ricky is going to score the first try of the game. I think the second rower on that right edge, like I said, I think they'll be going at Jerome Luai. I think he is a target with that shoulder. I'm not convinced that shoulder is even close to being 100%. I think the Broncos' right-hand side is going to be their main side of attack, and I think Brisbane need to start well. So I'm going to go Jordan Ricky for the first try scorer. And for all the punters out there that are going to throw money on first try scorer, just want to let you know that Jordan Ricky, first try scorer, is paying a juicy $26. So good value. And you said Stags for us, so that's paying $17.
Not bad.
Good odds for that as well. All right. Well, that's the first try scorer prediction out of the way. Let's go to the anytime try scorer prediction. Who do you like for this one for us? Anytime try scorer.
I've got to go Stephen Crichton. He just loves scoring in grand finals. He scored in each of the last 3 grand finals. I just got to go Stephen Crichton. I think he'll find the line.
Stephen Crichton. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah, I think I tend to agree. I mean, I know it's boring and I know everyone doesn't want to go with the obvious, but
it's boring, but he just does it every single finals game.
The last 2 grand finals Crichton's played, he has scored a try. I'm not sure if he scored in the one against Melbourne. He probably did, but Crichton has scored in the last 2 grand finals. So I'm with you. I think Stephen Crichton, anytime try scorer, at $2.55 is a very good price. What in the fuck is that?
That's just me water.
Water, all right. Now, let's get to the Clive Churchill medal. Now, the losing team can still win this award. There's no doubt about it. But Clive Churchill medal winner, Faraz, who do you reckon wins the Clive Churchill on Sunday night?
This is tough, man. There's a few choices to make, but I'm going to go Paddy Carrigan. I just think that if Brisbane are going to win, I think he's going to have a huge say on the result.
I can't believe we got the same prediction. You're kidding me. I also think Paddy Carrigan for Clive Churchill.
Yeah,
I can't believe we got the same.
Mate, great minds think alike, as they say. But yeah, no, I think Pat Carrigan's going to have a huge say. Obviously, he won the Wally Lewis in the Origin arena. Yeah. He's got a lot of experience in that pack. He just has to stand up if Brisbane are going to win this.
Mate, Paddy Carrigan, if he makes over 40 tackles and if he runs for 160, 70 meters or whatever, guess 200 meters, he probably wins it for me. So,
right.
And just so everyone out there that is going to have a bet on the Clive Churchill medal, Patrick Carrigan is paying $14 for Clive Churchill medal. That's good odds. Good odds. Very good value there. All right. Now let's get to the big one. Who wins the grand final? Faraz, I know you're going to go with the Broncos, but what's your score prediction for the game? You know what? How about this? Give me your halftime score and then into your full-time score prediction.
All right, at halftime, I've got the scores being locked up. I think we'll go 10-10. I think each Reynolds and Cleary will miss a conversion from the sideline. And at full time, I've got Brisbane just edging out Penrith and a mighty upset, 24-22.
Oh, so you reckon there'll be a fair few try?
I think, I think I think we'll go down to the wire. I think there'll be a try to steal it.
All right, I like it. I like it. My prediction, everyone wants to know who I'm picking to win this grand final. And look, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a great grand final. It's going to be a very close game. But I am going with the upset. I think the
Oh,
Brisbane Broncos will win the 2023 grand final. I think they're
let's
going to do it.
fucking go.
I think they're going to break this Penrith dynasty. I still think Penrith will be dominant over the coming years, but I think it's the Broncos' time to do it. So, my halftime prediction, I think halftime will be locked up as well, but I'm going to go halftime 8-all, full time. Broncos win the grand final,
Oh,
20 points to 14.
about 10 points.
No, 6 points, 20 to 14.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 24-14.
No. Broncos 20, Panthers 14. Broncos win the grand final by 6 points. Jordan Ricky scores the first try. Stephen Crichton scores at some point anytime. And Patrick Carrigan wins the Clive Churchill on Sunday night. Broncos hold up the premiership for the first time since 2006.
Like it, mate. Love it. Hopefully that
Gonna
happens. It's going to be.
It's going to be a great game. I cannot wait. And I'm not going to the grand final. I know a few people have been asking. I'm actually having a barbecue at home, so it's going to be nice and fun. But should be good fun. But Faraz, thank you for coming on the grand final preview, mate. Obviously, good luck on Sunday. I know you're going to the game, and hope you have a good time. And hopefully, you get the job done.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks for having me on once again. Yeah, it's gonna be a big, massive day for us. I can't lie. I'm really nervous. I'm counting down the days. So, yeah. Look. Also, I forgot to ask before I hop off as well. Who are you going for in this grand final?
I'm not going for anyone, bro. Like as a Cowboys fan, I can't stand Brisbane, so I couldn't care less. And when it comes to Penrith, I don't like them. I don't like what they're about. So I'm sitting on the fence and not giving a single shit who wins. But my tip is the Broncos.
Right, mate. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, thanks for having me once again, mate. It's going to be a cracking week and hopefully a cracking grand final.
No worries, mate. Well, all the best. Have fun, and thank you for coming on, and thank you to the live chat as well. Thank you all for tuning in to the grand final preview. If you're new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, guys, take care, and good luck to both teams in the grand final.
Out the Bronx.